Cruz. And Nitish Joshi will be sent to the waiting room.
Perfect.
Hey.
Hello, SNPhA. My name is Lea Cruz, and I'm a third-year student pharmacist from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I am honored to speak with you all today in hopes of becoming your next SNPhA National President-elect and future President. Growing up, I experienced firsthand the complications and barriers of the healthcare system, especially for underserved populations. From seeing my grandparents who only speak Spanish struggle to navigate doctor's appointments, to growing up in a military town where after war deployment, people were scared to talk about their mental health, I've seen how varied and diverse the underserved community can be. This diversity that falls under the term underserved is what brought me to SNPhA. As I started pharmacy school, I knew I wanted to dedicate myself to serving the underserved and promoting health professionals that I did not see growing up. SNPhA gave me a network of people around the country to share ideas with. I had the honor of serving SNPhA members at the national level in the Fighting Diabetes Initiative this past year. That has opened my eyes to how passionate and caring our members are and assisted me in learning how to be a better leader and help be a part of the real change on the ground. I am running for this position not only because I believe it's important to serve the underserved, but also because I know how essential it is to have healthcare professionals who understand what these underserved populations are battling. As future healthcare professionals, I am empowered by the impact that we as students can make in our communities and collectively across the country to serve all patients. Going forward, SNPhA has the opportunity to become a more politically sound organization by including in our mission statement that we support the underserved and that we promote the minority healthcare professional. We are already on a different stage than other healthcare organizations. We are the pillars of change moving forward. When pharmacy schools call for more diversity and inclusion efforts, they look towards the leaders that are in SNPhA. When we go to our communities and encounter patients who are racially, ethnically, and socioeconomically diverse, our patients are comfortable with the leaders in SNPhA who understand their battles. When we sit in class and hear that 99% of chronic diseases have being a racial or ethnic minority as a risk factor, that it isn't skin pigment that makes that true. Instead, the injustices in place in this country that makes our communities more vulnerable to these diseases. It's up to us in SNPhA to become better learners and advocates. When we receive questions on how we could better support our students and patients, there's no reason for them to doubt us. We need to have the foundation in place to reinforce everything that we say. Together, we can accomplish this through a two-step education series for all of our SNPhA members. The first step consists of a monthly advocacy series that focuses on relevant pharmacy policy items, along with discussions on injustices that various underserved communities face. The goal of this series is to encourage our members to meet with state legislators and to advocate for our profession and local underserved communities. I hope to utilize our connection with SNPhA and our growing mentorship system to bring pharmacists who understand these topics in. This will allow us as students to build relationships with these pharmacists through our shared experiences. The second step is a locally based Health Equity Week initiative to take place in our individual chapters. This Health Equity Week will focus on engaging the students around us to continue learning about the disparities underserved communities face and to provide us with the to serve as more empathetic health professionals moving forward. Furthermore, it is important to recognize that we are in unprecedented times right now with COVID-19. This has affected each of us in many ways, whether close to home or on a larger scale. I have seen through my position with the Fighting Diabetes Initiative that monthly virtual challenges and videos allow for unique opportunities to stay active and involved in a socially distant setting. If elected in this role, I would challenge each initiative to have virtual opportunities every month so that chapters can stay engaged. Along with this, I hope to establish a temporary community-based initiative that focuses on tasks that do not fit within the previously established initiative. I've seen how hard chapters work to ensure that their community is getting quality care, and I want to be sure that you all have the opportunity to continue your work in any manner possible. I hope to encourage and motivate my fellow SNPhA members to keep taking things to the next level. My passion for SNPhA continues to drive me, and I hope to make your experience in this organization even better. I'm honored to be speaking with you all today, and I hope to continue to serve you and SNPhA as next year's National President-elect. Thank you.
Hi, Leah. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Gautra. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. For the president-elect position, you're going to be playing a role directly under the current president. I want to find out, what is your typical way of dealing with conflict?
Yeah. So usually if there is a point where I feel maybe uncomfortable with the path that my team leader is on, or I do not agree with the decision, I try to take that straight to the person who is making that decision, whether that is a team leader, a boss, whoever, and just kind of express my concerns and what I would do differently. I think it's really important when you give criticism that you always come up with a solution that's attainable and fits both of your paths and mindset, because then you're just giving criticism. So I would make sure to work with Joseph and say, hey, like, I'm not sure if this is actually the best avenue for XYZ reason. This is possibly what I would change. Do you want to talk more about it? If it comes to the point that he's willing to talk about it, then we'll have that conversation and move forward, hopefully with a shared idea. If it's something that he's truly passionate about, or anybody that I work under, and they want to stick to their plan, that's perfectly fine. I think that I would try to maneuver any like little details I can, but at the end of the day, like, I am there to support their vision as well. So I will do what I can to make sure that that vision comes to fruition in the best way possible. Thank you.
Great. So next we'll have a question from the general membership. We'll have Busola Fo.
Hello. So my question is, if you are elected as the next president-elect, you are committing to 2 years of service. With the evolving situation of COVID-19 and the transition of many schools and colleges of pharmacy to online or hybrid learning, how do you plan to provide support to the president during this time, and how do you think this will prepare you to become president?
Yeah, of course. So I think I'm in a really unique situation right now in the fact that I was able to work on the SNPhA National Board before COVID and kind of saw the beginning starts of COVID and how that impacted our initiatives. Being the past initiative chair for the Fighting Diabetes Initiative, it's a very hands-on patient care organization or branch of SNPhA. So I had to really think quickly on how our chairs everywhere, all of our local chapters, could really still participate with their patients and make that real change on the ground. So I think that going forward, I have the ability to not only know what would be attainable in terms of last year pre-COVID, but also what is feasible now that we are in COVID in a socially distant setting. So with that, I would be able to support Joseph's mission and the goal of the National Board, and really making sure that all of our initiative chairs have the proper resources and know that maybe some events like patient care, blood sugar events might not be attainable in most states. There are things that we could do, such as videos, patient outreach in terms of emails, flyers, and just a lot of other resources that we could really prepare to make sure that we are still interacting and caring for our patients in the best way possible. So I think bringing my total experience of how SNPhA works on both sides will really help me let this organization continue to prosper if elected. Thank you.
Great. So now we'll have one more question from general membership, and this will come from Ms. Chloe Koo.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Alaya. Hi. My question is that, so national and regional conferences of SNPhA are major ways SNPhA members network and connect, and you SNPhA board members will work closely with the hosting chapters to prepare this conference. And with the challenges that SNPhA chapters are faced with current pandemic, how would you plan to support the chapters preparing for the conferences and adapt to the changes forthcoming?
Yeah, of course. So firstly, I would say that I do have some experience in both seeing how the regional conference how they kind of take place and how they work. Not in depth, so there's a lot for me to learn. I'm excited to do so, but I have been able to help with the national convention planning. I think really just being flexible and adaptable to any situation is probably the most important. So making sure that our people on the ground who are planning the convention or the conferences really know, like, okay, what is going on with their state, what is available to actually do, what are they comfortable doing is important. Just making sure that all lines of communication are really open, and that we're all making sure that we're putting our most like flexible selves forward, because we really don't know what's going to happen in a month, 2 months, next year. Everything's really up in the air. But I think overall, I would make sure that I'm always there to listen to the people who are doing the planning, and that I'm there as a comforting ear, but also just to help guide us towards the right path of finding resources, finding people who are comfortable maybe doing virtual webinars. What does a community service event look like? Maybe it'll have to be social distance, who knows? So just making sure that I'm always there to be a shoulder to lean on, but also provide resources, if able, would probably be the best way that I can go forward with planning.
Great, thank you, Aaliyah. So now we will shift to the waiting room, and we will have Nitish Joshi, the final candidate for national president-elect. Momentarily.
Good afternoon, SNPhA. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Nitish Joshi. I'm a second-year pharmacy student at East Tennessee State University. Booker T. Washington once said, he learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position one's reached in life, but by the obstacles by which he or she has had to overcome while trying to succeed. I strongly believe hard work is one of the most important keys to success. Without being willing to work hard and put everything into something, success is nearly impossible. When my father immigrated to the United States in the 1980s, he was only allowed to bring $10 with him to the country. He was in a strange new place with very little to support him. He learned at a young age he would have to work hard to support his family and to achieve his goals. He worked 3 jobs to support my mother, his sister, his mother, and his father, and he put his brother through college. I learned from his example that if you work hard enough for something and with enough passion, good things can happen. I've tried to remember this and embody this as a student with my work in pharmacy and my work with SNPhA. To truly be successful in any event, initiative, or idea, you have to approach it with your all. You have to be willing to go above and beyond for that cause. When I was an undergrad trying to decide where I saw myself in the future, I had an experience that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. I was working as a pharmacy technician at Rite Aid Pharmacy, and I had never realized the impact a pharmacist could have in the lives of their patients, until the day we had a gentleman in his late 60s come into the pharmacy, who I helped like any other customer. Before he left, he told us he had suffered from a stroke a few months ago, and as a result was now blind. I was shocked. I was shocked. I thought to myself how difficult this must be to relearn how to do everything all over again. For the next year, the same gentleman would come into the counter to find help with his medicines and suggestions on how and what to take for different ailments. The most shocking part for me was he would come in and ask specifically for me. He didn't want to talk to the trained pharmacists. He just remembered the boy who sat and listened to him and helped him find chewable vitamins in aisle 12. He's been one of my biggest inspirations, and that experience has been one of my driving forces on my journey to becoming a pharmacy student. I feel truly honored to be in front of all of you today. SNPhA is an amazing organization fueled by passionate members that want to make a difference. I joined SNPhA because I believed in its mission of serving the underserved and making a difference in our communities. SNPhA has provided me a way of giving back to my community, given me a sense of fulfillment in the work that we do, and most importantly, given me a SNPhA that I wouldn't trade for the world. As I look to the future, I can see healthcare is rapidly changing, and our profession may soon look very different. It'll be very important for the future leaders of our industry to be able to advocate for pharmacy policies that promote the future of pharmacy and advocate for our patients. SNPhA offers us opportunities to promote equal rights and to advocate for the underserved. I would like to offer our members more opportunities to develop their advocacy skills and learn more about policies that impact pharmacy and their patients. Pharmacy school is a time where we learn many skills that will carry with us for the rest of our lives. I strongly believe that being able to advocate and speak about important issues is an invaluable skill that we should all be able to do. I would like to start an inter-chapter virtual debate series that will encourage members to become more knowledgeable about topics that affect pharmacy and our underserved populations. I feel like this will be a unique and informative way of working with policies and issues. I would also like to develop more opportunities for our SNPhA to be able to support one another in events, but more importantly, be able to support our individual SNPhA members. This will be a challenging year, but I believe we can support one another in our events and grow closer as an organization. We all have unique skills and experiences that can help communities all over the country. But right now, our impact is greatly determined by where our schools are located. I believe by using technology, we can reach more individuals and support one another to make our overall impact for our communities even greater. I would like to leave you with a quote from Barack Obama. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Please vote for me as your next president-elect, so together we can be the change to create a better tomorrow.
Great, thank you, Nitin. So for this final piece, we have to go out of order because Godfrey lost his Wi-Fi signal. So We'll start off with the membership question. First, we'll have USola Forward.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, if you are elected as the next president-elect, you are committed to 2 years of service. With the evolving situation of COVID-19 and the transition of many schools and colleges of pharmacy to online or hybrid learning, how do you plan to provide support to the president during this time, and how will this prepare you to be president?
That's a great question. So one of my foundations for my platform is to be more involved with using technology to both connect our different chapters and to be able to connect to the communities that we serve. Right now, like I said, our impact is generally limited to the place where we are in our schools. And I think that if we use technology, chapter members from ETSU could connect with chapter members in California or Washington or Texas, and we can create a network of SNPhA members to help individual communities all over the country. I think that each person is so unique because of our experiences that have brought us here. And so we each bring something to the table when we talk to the community. So when holding a community event in the state of Washington, there may be people in that community that are suffering from something that, you know, the people there may not know how to handle, but there may be somebody in Florida that could help them. And by being able to really network within our chapters and really making our organization grow closer, we can find solutions within our organization to help our communities. And I think that will be important this year, and I feel like that'll be important going forward as well. I don't think that the changes we'll make this year, just because we are in a COVID pandemic, will immediately go away. I feel like this will just make our organization stronger and better for the future.
Thank you. Now we'll have the second membership question from Ms. Chloe Koo.
Hi. My question is, hi. SNPhA national and regional conferences are the major ways that SNPhA members network and connect. And the new SNPhA national board members will work closely with the hosting chapters to prepare the conferences. And with the challenges that SNPhA chapters are faced with current pandemic, how would you plan to support the chapters preparing for the conferences and adapt to the changes forthcoming?
That's a great question. I know that's a huge concern because, like myself, a lot of the first chance I really got to meet a lot of you was at our regional conference. And being able to really have that experience and really get to meet everybody and see all the faces is a huge part of SNPhA. And that'll be a challenging part to try and recreate. But I think that we can, like I said before, we can use technology to be able to reach out to each individual chapter, really go through our region facilitators to know if there are any concerns from any chapter and really try and address them. One of the things that I'm strongly known for is I'm really approachable. If there's anything that any chapter or any member needs, I'm always there. And hopefully our new exec board will be the same as well. If there are issues, if there are concerns, we will be there to help you regardless of what it is. And me personally, if I don't know the answer, I'll find someone that knows the answer, or I will find the answer for you and get back to you. I believe that having too much information is sometimes a good thing. Being able to know exactly where you're going, what you're doing, and making sure each chapter knows, okay, you have someone in your corner regardless of the difficulties. And I feel like that is what a good exec board would do, and that is what I plan to do if I get elected as the next president-elect.
Thank you, Nitin. Now we have Godfrey, who was able to make it back with the nominations committee question.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, Godfrey.
And right when you came in, man. Sorry. So my question for you, so the president-elect, position, you're going to be playing directly under the current president. I want to find out what is your typical way of dealing with conflict?
My way of dealing with conflict is really understanding what the issue is. It's really easy to get sucked into the emotion of a conflict instead of really understanding what are you disagreeing about, and then really looking at the facts of, okay, so if this is our issue, this is the conflict, what do we do? Where do we find a middle ground and really understand? Joseph is going to be a wonderful president, and he has an amazing vision for SNPhA going into the future. And being able to really understand this is where he wants to go and where you fall in would be the most important part. Within any conflict or anything, it's just being able to recognize your role in the situation and understand if there are certain things that either you're doing wrong or things you don't understand, trying to find out that information so you can support your members the best way you can.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nitin. Dr. Donald, you can take Aaliyah out of the waiting room. Not sure if she is out. Well, I would like to say thank you all for taking the time to share your morning with all of us. All of the candidates did an exceptional job giving their speeches and answering the questions. And I'm going to be honest, a lot